Good morning, everybody. Feels kind of weird to be on with everybody in the daytime rather than nighttime. We usually have a team training every Tuesday night that is called Rockstars Sizzle, and so we meet every Tuesday night, and so that's what we're moving into, creating the same kind of thing in the cafe, but it's just going to be product education. So the intention of doing this Zoom in the cafe is to be able to build the community, build some relationships, and just provide some really good product education. And so we want our people that we add to the group to be able to feel safe and to just have a really nice learning environment. So that is what the intention of this Zoom is. These will be recorded, and we will be doing them every Tuesday at 11 o'clock. So today we have Karina with us, and I will have someone with me every week, and Kenzie will be with us. So for those of you that don't know Kenzie is she's my person that holds me together. So, but she's also an amazing friend. She has some awesome tips and tricks for different things that we do. If you're joining us and you're doing the business, she has some awesome tips and tricks for that. But she's just an all-around awesome person. She is my assistant. Sometimes that feels kind of weird to say that. I just think she's just my friend, and I just love having her with me when I do this stuff, and I love doing business and life with Kenzie. So the goal for these Sizzles is to stay at 20 to 30 minutes. If you join us on Tuesday night, you know that's very hard for me. I'm gonna work on that, because I know that your time during the day is it's valuable. Nighttime as well, your sleep is valuable, but I want to be able to get this information if you're joining us for lunch or even for when you listen to the recording. We don't want it to be so long that you don't want to join us in that. So today we are gonna, I'm just gonna share a little bit about me, and then we're gonna pass it on. We'll just kind of go back and forth. This is gonna be very informal. I love informal, so if you have questions, please place them in the chat, and then when we're done with this, then we will also open it up to some questions. Sometimes it's fun to be able to have some conversation offline, so stick with us to the end, because when we shut the recording off, sometimes we have some pretty nitty-gritty conversations, and those can also be valuable. One thing I do want to mention before we move on, is that we talk about and really try to reiterate the importance of being responsible when we share when we talk about the oils with our family and friends. The main thing is that we never want to tell somebody that we're going to cure them. That is really the main thing in all of that, and being responsible as you share the oils. We have a lot of testimonies, many testimonies of how the products helped people and changed their lives in huge ways. And in here, because we are this is recorded, we are going to try and stay compliant, but it is not going to be something that is going to be, we're gonna not say some of the right words. The main thing as you listen to what we talk about is that we're just being responsible. Yes, we have symptoms with flu and germs and all of that stuff, but the main thing in all of this is to be responsible and not tell someone that you're going to be able to cure them. Really, that's the main thing. We don't want to do false hope or anything like that. We just want to be able to offer a product that's going to help support their body and to be as happy and healthy as they possibly can be. So a little bit about me. I started using doTERRA little over 7 years ago. I had surgery that put me into the surgical menopause. And for the next 2 years, I struggled hardcore with clinical depression. I knew nothing about how menopause could affect our emotions. For me, menopause was hot flashes. That's all I knew about menopause. So that was on me for not having the knowledge as I moved into this part of my life. But it was a really, really rough time. It was beyond rough. I don't know that without doTERRA that I would be here today because of that. And so for me, I'm very passionate about sharing the benefits of the products, the oils, the vitamins, the products for your gut, because when our gut is not healthy, our emotions can not be healthy as well. So it makes it very easy for me to share the benefits of this because I had such amazing results with the product. Everybody has their own story. I could go into much more detail and I'm not going to, but just know my story was rough and the products helped me. So this morning, I'm just going to talk really quick about what I used this morning, just as a quick segue into Karina. So I actually woke up with an upset stomach this morning, like I did not feel good. So for those of you that haven't used digest tabs, those are fantastic when it comes to the stomach upset, some of the burn in the esophagus. That's what was happening with me. I ate a sausage last night that was a hot sausage, and it just caused like a ton of acid and just junk in my gut. And so that's the reason why I woke up sick this morning. So I use the digest tabs. It's very soothing on an upset stomach, and the gel caps are also what help a lot when it comes to the upset stomach. Some of the burning with the acid and all of that. I also used balance because when my stomach starts to when I get nauseous, it kicks in my anxiety like 100-fold. So I try and figure out, okay, is my stomach upset here because I got something physical going on, or is my stomach upset because I've got some anxiety going on? So I hit it from both directions. I hit the physical and then I hit the emotional. So that's all I'm going to say about that for now, because I love listening to Karina. Karina is a natural teacher. She just makes things just super easy to understand, and I want you guys to be able to have an opportunity to be able to hear from her, because she's just awesome. And she's my sister, and she's one of my business partners, and she's a coach in the cafe for us. So I'm super excited to have Karina with us on the first Sizzle in the cafe, because I love her dearly, and she's just a natural when it comes to sharing the benefits of the products, but she also has a really good balance in there, because she's also very knowledgeable when it comes to the Western medicine aspect of things as well. So she does a really good job of blending the information and giving us what we need. So with that, you're on, Karina.
Yikes. Okay, nothing like setting the bar, huh? So I have been with doTERRA for 7 years as well. It took Romy a little bit to convince me, because I was closely tied with the medical profession, have been since I was a year old. My first surgery was at a year. So Romy watched me growing up have some different medical challenges, and she stepped in when I was having some really severe medical stuff and said, look, you're just going to use this or else. And it wasn't quite that bad, but she was pretty adamant because she loved me. And so there's been a huge change since 2011 until now. I have one of my pictures up that shows me at I think the second gala we went to, and I was 50 pounds lighter, and I was kind of little and not a whole lot of strength left anymore. doTERRA supported my body while the medical profession figured some things out. They worked closely with my transplant team, worked closely with me using the Lifelong Vitality and some other products to just get my body in a position that they could do the necessary surgeries. So keeping our bodies balanced is huge. It is just a key component. For those of you that aren't on the Lifelong Vitality Pack, I highly, highly recommend it. I did not take supplements. I already was taking a handful of pills and things, and I was like, I eat healthy. I don't need anything else. And I was pretty adamant about it. And finally, my sister about shook me, and she said, "Do you understand this? Just do it." So again, I love that. It's been really helpful to have her be like that because I'm a little bit stubborn, and so since she's I love her, and I know she loves me, and she just wants the best for me. So I actually tried the Lifelong Vitality, and it was a huge game changer. So most of you know what the Lifelong Vitality does. If you don't, there's great resources out there. I won't go into all of that because we are limited on time. When you get a foundation built, and that is a stepping stone, it's a huge first stepping stone for you. It is not providing all of your nutrients, it's not providing all of it, but it's a great support for what you're not getting when you eat healthfully. And when you have health concerns going on, it's amazing to fill the gap and to help support things. Our stomachs are a key component. And for 3 years, I had what I will call rapid flushing. Within a half an hour of eating, everything flushed out. So I did not absorb any nutrition. The Lifelong Vitality is designed in the macro formatting, so it is so small and so rapidly absorbed, and it is not tightly compacted. You'll notice in your pills that it is loose. If you open it, it's like a powder. It's macro. That's key. So I was able to actually absorb the stuff that I needed to absorb. It was a great support for my system. The other thing that was huge was the PB Assist. Probiotics, so that good flora is in there, is amazing. I had PICC lines and the nastiest antibiotics that you can get going into you were through the PICC lines. So the PB Assist was hugely helpful during that. So at this time of year, all of that aside, that's been years, I'm way healthier, as you can tell. And just life has been amazing. This time of year with harvest, I love harvest. For those of you that know anything about me, agriculture is a love of mine, and we garden and we do all of that, but harvest about wrecks my system. The pollens and all of those things. So I have to be very, very careful keeping my stomach in good working order, and my liver. So for those of you that don't know, your liver is a key component in that as well. You have got to keep it flushed out so that it's getting rid of all of those, the pollens and things because it's all coming into you. You need to be able to flush it out properly. So this is one of my best friends this time of year. Tri-Ease is amazing. It really helps support my body's ability to combat any of those pollens that are in the air. PB Assist is the other thing that I take every day, and I do the Zendocrine series. I do Zendocrine oil over my liver for support, and I do the Zendocrine gel caps and I do the Zendocrine complex. They each work in a different area to support your system. And so for those of you that have lots of seasonal allergies, it's a huge way of supporting your body. But that's for me. And if you didn't know, your liver also can, when your liver is clogged, your emotional processing is clogged. So when you see someone who's having some serious rage issues and they're normally pretty easygoing, that may be a key. Look for helping them to cleanse that liver. Lemon oil is another huge support for that in the water every day. That's a gentle cleansing agent. It tastes great, helps you to drink more water, but it is helping that filter's ability to actually clean out. So those are my daily things that I do right now, hugely supporting, so that I'm not a raging maniac, because when my liver clogs up, it's not a pretty thing.
So Karina and I actually did a protocol. We started a protocol this spring to, we both have some thyroid issues and some autoimmune stuff that we're using products to help us in one, to hopefully we'll be able to take care of it and just really minimize the effects that has on us. But what we found is when we started this protocol, both of us started to get super agitated, like, look at me and I will throat punch you, because I am not a happy camper right now. And I thought that it was just me, that I was just crazy. And so then Karina and I started chatting, and both of our moods were coinciding. Like she was feeling that agitation and that just really not.
Hopefully nobody can read our text ever.
Yeah. Both of us are very, very loving people. We try and we just try and be nice most of the time. And so when those moods and stuff like that come about for me, then I know that something is off balance. And so what we found is that we needed to do some extra support for our livers. So I started using the Zendocrine, and we've talked about this before a little bit. Karina used the Zendocrine. Didn't you use some cilantro as well, Karina?
So I did a couple different things, because I did a lymphatic flush at the same time, and that was amazing. And so it was the rosemary and the cilantro, which just helped process some of the garbage out. Cilantro is huge for helping your body get rid of toxins.
Yeah, and so I did the rosemary as well with the lymphatic flush. So I did the Zendocrine and the rosemary for that. And it was amazing how it just kind of, it soothed everything. And it was quick. Before the day was gone, I could tell that my mood and my agitation was starting to shift. It didn't go away completely, but as we both did this, it was kind of cool to do it together. So we were able to bounce back and forth what was happening with us. And it actually confirmed that what we were doing, we were on the right track, because both of our moods also started to subside at the same time as well. So I had somebody else say that they did the lymphatic flush after we talked about that, but using the rosemary for a lymphatic flush is it's very cool. I can't tell you exactly what it does for me that makes me feel better. It just makes me feel better. I like it, and maybe that's what I need to do. Maybe that'll help with some of the stomach issues that I've been having. So I need to get back to that. So
and one of the things we did, I had the ability to go visit her, and we did a cilantro Epsom salt foot soak, which was awesome.
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but I loved it.
Yeah.
I thought it was really nice.
Yeah. And any kind of foot soak with any kind of oil is always going to be of benefit in that way. One of the comments in the chat was about the digest tabs, for the reminder about them being strong. Yes, they are strong. The digest tabs are an acquired taste. I have not acquired that taste yet. So what I do is I do two. I chew them up in small enough chunks and then take a swig of water and hurry up and swallow it down. So the way that I look at it in regards to that, when we were kids growing up, cough syrup did not taste good, but it did the job. And so for me, even though I may not like the smell of an oil, I may not like the taste of an oil, I may not like the taste of digest tabs, but I know that they work. So I am not a fan of the smell of lavender, but and I absolutely hate the taste of lavender. Lord have mercy, that is disgusting. But Karina showed me how to use the lemon, lavender, and peppermint under your tongue for those seasonal threats. When you've got your sinuses are starting to feel that pressure and all of that, I put it under your tongue. It took me a long time to believe her that it would work, that the benefits far outweighed the taste of the lavender, but the benefits far outweigh the taste of the lavender. So what I do is 4 drops of lemon, lavender, and peppermint under my tongue, take a little bit of water, swish, gargle, and then swallow. And it's awesome for that. But the point in that is that we don't have to like the smell and we don't have to like the taste of something to get the benefit of it. So just kind of push through that. And especially with some of the oils, sometimes there's an oil that I don't like the smell of, but a couple months down the road, I could like the smell of it. It's so our senses and all of that stuff really, it changes. The other thing that I wanted to mention quick, did you have something, Karina?
With some of the oils that are smelling strong for you, you can layer it. Put that first and then put Balance over the top. And Balance has a tendency to neutralize a lot of those stronger smelling oils. So you're getting the benefit of the Balance as well.
Right. I use peppermint a lot as for when I'm using the oils internally. So I do frankincense under my tongue. Again, not a fan of the taste of frankincense. So anytime I put an oil under my tongue that I don't like the taste of, I do 1 drop of peppermint with it. So that it covers it up, but then you also get the benefit of that oil anyway. Any oil that you use, no matter what you're using it for, you're going to get a benefit from that, even if it's just to make your cells happy and healthy. So there's always a benefit in there when you're using the oils, whether it's breathing it in or topically or internally. But what I wanted to say really quick, so we can be done in like 5 minutes, is when I first started the products that I use to help with the depression that came with the menopause. It's I've actually heard that that depression is like it's okay to use that because menopause is a natural thing. I don't know, but I don't know how else to describe that. So I had depression. I was sad, really sad. So when I first started, I'd used the Lifelong Vitality Pack. I used the frankincense. And I actually used some ylang-ylang in the beginning for the anxiety that went along with that. But what I learned about, it was 2 springs ago, when we got back into Utah, I actually had an opportunity to go see Dr. Riggs. For those of you that don't know who Dr. Riggs is, he is now the man that is heading up DoTERRA's new healthcare initiative. He is awesome. And so I got to see him before he closed his practice down. One of the things that was super cool about going in to see him is that when you walked into his waiting room, he had oils in the waiting room. It was really cool to be able to go see a doctor that was also educated in the oils and totally open to more natural ways of taking care of your health. So I was really struggling with trying to figure out what I was going to do with my thyroid, because the numbers were just bad. And so when the thyroid is not working properly, your moods can start to go kittywampus as well, because it's all the hormone thing. Those hormones, Lord have mercy. So one of the things that he actually prescribed or recommended to me was the Serenity soft gels. And that was to help with that anxiety and that edginess and that agitation, the mood stuff that goes along with that. And in the explanation of that, he said they have done a study with lavender and Paxil. And not him, this is a legit study that they did. And when they did the study on that, they showed that lavender gave you the same results as Paxil did without the side effects. And so that's why he recommended that I started taking the Serenity cells. So let me say quickly, if you are on medication of any kind, do not just go off your medication because you think that you found an oil that's going to all of a sudden make you better and take away all your problems. That is not recommended to do that. Never, never just go off of medication cold turkey, ever. I don't care what it is. And so one of the things that I talk to people about is, if you're on medication, start taking the vitamins and start using the oils that are gonna support you in whatever way that they're gonna benefit you. You will be able to tell when it's going to be time to maybe start to go like lessen your dose, or however that is. Your body's going to tell you that it's time to make a change. Then it's time to make a doctor's appointment, to go in and have that conversation with your doctor and have them help you figure out what is going to be the very best way to proceed. So that's that.
The Serenity soft gels are also, if you have a child that has some nervous excitement issues with their belly, like something exciting's coming and they all of a sudden, invariably, then they have to go use the restroom before you can go anywhere. The Serenity soft gels are helpful for supporting to work through some of that stuff. So
cool.
We have less than a minute.
Yes. Does anybody have any questions or comments before we move on to Kenzie for a minute? Let's see here. All right.
I have a quick question. With the rosemary and the cilantro, which I feel about cilantro the way you do about lavender, it's just
oh yeah.
So are you using that internally, or are you rolling that on?
Internally.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Same way with the rosemary, just in a gel cap.
And for those of you that are burping it in a gel cap, put a drop of fractionated coconut oil in the gel cap with it.
Yeah. Or peppermint. 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 It's just
so
enough oil.
Is it 2 drops or 3 drops that you're using typically?
Karina.
Is it 2 drops or 3?
I use 6. It's 6 drops of cilantro and 7 of rosemary for the flush, and it's once a day.
Wow.
I do it under my tongue, so it's like, for me, I can by the time anyway, it works, it's done, and it's easy. For me, it's about convenience.
It's very brave. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah. And that is if you're just starting off and you want to do something like what it's, I would recommend going half on the drops. I would definitely start light on the drops. It's better to go up than it is to inundate your gut with something like
Yes.
that is that powerful.
You could break it up to three throughout the day.
Yeah.
And that would be just fine for me. Again, it's about convenience and remembering.
Yeah. And it is better to take little throughout the day than it is to take a large amount at once. So I'm with Karina.
Absolutely.
I do that stuff all at once because it's just, I'll end up forgetting. But the benefit is going to be better if you do a little bit throughout the day. So, well, we're right on the 30-minute mark, Kenzie.
How impressive are we? We got to tell
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to be giving away an On Guard essential oil on this call. And so if you're new to the giveaways on the call, Mark's rule is your camera has to be on and enter to be into the drawing. So make sure your cameras are on when we do the giveaways, well, during the whole call, preferably.
Yes.
And then I'm going to talk a little bit about Copaiba for a minute. So let's do the giveaway first. And the winner of the giveaway is Cheryl. So
Yay!
you would please send me your address and I will.
Cheryl is actually a Canadian, and we are going to have to work something out in that way. We have shipping issues when it comes to shipping to Canada.
It hates me. I will send it right to you from DoTERRA. So send me.
Oh, awesome. Cool.
Okay, and then real quick, we're going to talk about a Copaiba challenge. Who on here uses Copaiba? Raise your hand if you're familiar. So someone challenged me to use a drop of Copaiba every hour on the hour, like 3 weeks ago. And it literally changed my life. And my Copaiba is, about halfway gone now because I've been doing this for 3 weeks. And so I want to share the challenge with you guys, and we're going to be doing it in the cafe tomorrow. So get your Copaiba ready, and I'll have reminder posts going out every hour on the hour, and you use 1 drop on the hour, okay? You can use it aromatically, put it in your diffuser, you can put it on topically, or you can put a drop under your tongue. I prefer to put the drop under my tongue. And for me, what it's done for me is I feel like I can focus. There's a clearing in my mind, and I can't go without it now. Like I can't believe that we can only get 1 a month. And so that's just what I do. So we're going to be giving away this Copaiba on Thursday morning after we gather testimonials from the challenge tomorrow. So we'll be posting on the hour every hour, and then at 9 o'clock Mountain Time tomorrow night, we'll be gathering the testimonials to see what your experience was like with the Copaiba. So look forward to that challenge in the cafe.
Sweet. All right, so we're gonna stop the recording in a minute so you guys can hang out and ask questions if you want. But before we stop the recording, I just want to thank you guys for showing up. If you are watching this as a replay, if you would just put replay in the comments on the post, that would be awesome. We would love to hear your takeaways, your feedback, what you would like to learn about. If you have a specific oil that you'd really like to go in depth with, we are open for suggestions. This is something, like I said in the beginning, this is something new that we're doing, but the intention really is to create a really solid product community, so you guys feel comfortable with using your oils, as well as feeling comfortable when you talk to your family and friends about using the oils. But the most important thing is to get the cap off the bottle and use the products, and that's what we're here for, is to encourage you, maybe help you to think outside the box with some of the oils. But we're just here to help you along the way on your journey. If you have friends that you think would benefit from this, please don't hesitate to add them to the cafe. They do not have to have an account. They can just, you can send them the link, or they can get in there and they just have to fill out there's just a couple of questions, and that just helps us to maintain a little bit more control, because this is a safe community. This is a no recruit zone. Absolutely no recruit. If I catch somebody recruiting in this group, there will be no warning, you'll just be gone. So because this is just, I want this to be very, very comfortable, safe, a place to create friendships and a place of value for you. So if you are in the cafe and you're frequenting in there, if somebody has a question and you know the answer, please answer the question, so that way we can help them. If you don't know the question and no one else has answered, please tag somebody that you know knows the answer, because someone knows the answer, I promise. So with that being said, we will see you next week. Make sure that you show up tomorrow in the cafe so you can start off on the challenge, and then we will announce the winner on Thursday.